Technology and travelling, two things that have both conveniently and kind of sadly become very entwined in our modern lives. In this video, I want to talk about how you can actually best take advantage of technology when you're travelling, and what technology you probably actually take. As a basis, I reckon you should probably take a phone, a power brick, a charger, and a heap of cables for it all. Okay, let's talk about the phone you should take. Firstly, get rid of one of these dicky wallet cases. They'll become all flappy like this and you'll probably end up doing something like this, losing your card. Ditch the case, they're stupid, it's a single point of failure. Okay, let's talk about the phone itself. So you want to make sure that your phone is firstly unlocked from whoever your home carrier is, and also a world or tri-band phone. This means it's going to work on any of the carrier networks you're likely to experience overseas. In addition to this, you want to be able to trust your phone, that your battery is going to last most of the day, and that it's not going to drop calls, apps aren't going to crash, so you're not going to be standing in the line at the airport wanting to send your boarding pass and have it just not come up. Finally, put it in a crappy case. There's nothing like being a rich Westerner walking around with an expensive phone. If it looks like crap, the less attention anyone is going to pay to it. Next up, keeping your phone going. No phone lasts all day. That's a marketing lie. Get a power brick. This was $5 from Officeworks, and it will last you all day. Keep it in your back pocket, and you can always feel comfortable that you can have power. You can also get bigger ones like this. Which one would I get? I'd probably get both. Keep the bigger one in your bag. If you forget to charge your stuff, you can charge your smaller power brick or your phone straight off that bigger one. Either way, I just consider it a really cheap safety net to have. And the final bit of basic kit is charging all of this stuff. Now, if you're only bringing a phone and a power brick, I would not recommend getting adapters. Just buy a cheap local plug-in charger. But with that said, I would try and get a 2 amp charger. This is going to charge your phones and your devices just that little bit quicker than a 1 amp or even a fraction of an amp charger that you're likely to get cheap. So just check on the back, see if you can get that higher ampage, and it will make your life a lot easier and quicker. Okay, now let's talk about getting yourself connected. Either a lot of people say, or eBay before you go, or when you get to a destination. And I hate to burst your bubble, but it won't be. You will be constantly looking for Starbucks and McDonald's to, get your connection and look for directions. What I recommend doing is getting some sort of mobile plan. And you're going to likely be in one of three categories when it comes to bringing your home plan over to where you're traveling to. The first is that your carrier offers free roaming, in which case, assuming that the speeds are pretty good, just use that. And of course, if you're an EU citizen traveling within the EU, this is going to be the case for you, because glory be the EU. The second case is that your carrier offers some sort of roaming plan, like Vodafone in Australia offers a $5 a day plan. I think these are a bit iffy, and they're generally not great value. It's something that you'll have to look into yourself, whether you can justify paying, for a 10-day holiday that's $50 for roaming when you could just buy a local SIM or get a roaming SIM. The third case you're likely to be in is that your carrier just charges extra for roaming, in which case don't pay it. These fees are always ridiculous and you're better off getting a roaming SIM. Which roaming SIM do I recommend? Well, the best I've kind of found when looking around is this one from Flexiroam. It goes on top of your normal SIM card, meaning that with the press of a button you can switch between this roaming SIM and your normal at-home SIM card. While they don't offer phone calls, they offer a range of data plans, which is really all you want when traveling. You can buy regional plans for a fixed price, fixed period of time, and fixed data values. You can also buy worldwide data allotments that you can use within a year. There's an affiliate link down in the description that will get you a gigabyte of data to get started. I think I also get 100 gigabytes if you use that affiliate link. So if you want to check it out, have a look at that link down in the description. So that's kind of both the minimum and the maximum amount of technology I would take if I possibly could while traveling. But there's one quick last thing I want to talk about, and that's kind of technology related, but it's how you spend your money. Now, there is two things I would avoid at all costs when traveling, and that is using a bank card that doesn't give you free international transactions or doesn't give you the bank exchange rate. Now, this can be a credit card, a debit card, or a lot of those travel cards that claim to be designed for travel also give you a crap exchange rate. Now, because of that, I recommend before you leave your home country to look into getting either a debit account with a very good exchange rate. In Australia, a good example is a Citibank account, or having a look into the card I have here on screen. This is a TransferWise borderless account. I don't want to go into it too far because it's getting a bit off topic, but it gives you a good exchange rate. It gives you the bank rate, in fact, and the fees between currencies is 0.5%, which is the best you'll find on any card like this. So definitely worth looking into something like that before you leave your home country. And here's the final thing I recommend bringing: a second crappy old phone. Why, you might ask? Well, sign into all your accounts on this phone, and it means if you lose your main phone, you can easily get into your bank accounts, your social media accounts, your Gmail accounts and email accounts, and have access to all your information, which is particularly important if you have two-step authentication on all your accounts, which is something you should have. It also provides a backup phone, so if you do lose your phone, you can just get a SIM card and you're good to go. It is a really cheap and easy bit of insurance in case you do lose your phone. But beyond this basic kit, what can make your travels a hell of a lot more comfortable? The first thing I'd look at getting is a pair of noise-cancelling headphones. Yeah, they claim new planes are quiet. When you've got a little shitty kid crying 2 seats up, there's nothing quiet about that experience. Noise-cancelling headphones, they don't do an amazing job cancelling noise, but they'll take out that low hum of the plane and, cover up the noisy screaming kids. Another thing that I think is a good call is a Kindle. Traveling involves a lot of sitting around and sometimes you just want to read a book. But you don't want to take a book because books are heavy and cumbersome. Kindles solve a lot of these problems while also taking up less room in your baggage. Also, the best thing about this Kindle and this pair of headphones is that they use the same cable as that power brick, meaning I don't have to bring yet another cable on my trip. Now, what about laptops? Easy answer: if you can, don't. They're heavy, they're cumbersome. You need a power brick, which means you also will need a power adapter to take it wherever you're going. And unless you need it for work, there's really no reason to bring it. If you're editing photos, you can do that on your phone. If you're booking flights or accommodation, you can do that just as well on your phone. So why bring another couple of kilos of laptop and stuff and likely damage? Just leave it at home. And the final thing I want to talk about is traveling with a drone. If you're going somewhere pretty and you want to film it from the air, yeah, definitely take it, but be careful because some countries will actually confiscate it at the border and make you pay taxes to either get it back out, if you can get it back at all. There's also different laws everywhere, obviously. So make sure you check that before you go so you don't get it confiscated on the beach. And that's about it for this video. I don't know how useful this really was. I am just trying to get back into making videos and working on a format that works. So this is a bit of an experiment. But just to give you a reference, this is what I traveled around Europe for about 6 months with, and it lasted me really well. I want to kind of get the point across that you don't need to bring that much stuff, and the less stuff you bring, in a lot of regards, the better, because it means it's less stuff to lose, less stuff to keep updated, less stuff to break. Just take less stuff. And hope that comes in useful next time you're planning your trip.